So first of all, I just want to say I'm super proud of my shirt. Alright you guys, so I've already moisturized my face. I used this Pond's moisturizer, and I did my eyebrows, and I kind of took my concealer and pulled it down to my eyelids a bit. And I'm gonna show you my no makeup look for the summertime, because I just think that I should, and I got tons of compliments on it. So I'm gonna show that to you, and we're gonna talk about some stuff. Guessing from the title, I'm sure you can tell. Thank you, Jesus. I got married May 28, 2016 to my wonderful husband. The wedding stuff was really difficult, I'll say that. It was just, you'll find out where you really are in your relationship with the person you're marrying. You'll find out how important image is to you and to those around you. Like, you'll find out all of that. I don't think I've talked about my dad yet on this channel, but we're not estranged, but we are not close. It's not a pivotal part of my life growing up, simply because things changed between him and my mother, and he and I never really had a chance to get to know each other, to bond, to establish like a real kind of relationship. I was 24 when I got married. The question, of course, came up: who's gonna walk you down the aisle? Touchy question to those that were asking me, meaning my sisters, asking me, my husband, even, well, my fiance at the time, asking me, my mom asking me. And I thought about it, and of course, you know, it's a common dream for, you know, a little girl to want her dad to walk her down the aisle. But I think after I thought about it, I realized I didn't want somebody that didn't know me walking me down the aisle. And at the time, I felt like my dad didn't know me. I felt like because he had missed so many years of my life, you know, how could he know who he was giving away? And to me, that was a big deal. It was a very big deal. That's a lot, man. And it was a big enough deal for me to decide that I wanted to walk by myself down the aisle. And man, you would have thought it was just something so much more worse, because the way that my sisters responded, they scolded me. The way that my mom responded, she was just like, initially she didn't think it was a good idea. She thought that it would come off as offensive. It ended up doing. In my heart, that's how I felt. I felt like, I don't know this man, and he doesn't know me. He wasn't there. He doesn't know me. He wasn't there to get to know me. He doesn't know how I struggled in relationships, cultivating positive and healthy relationships with men. How I thought I was supposed to marry somebody else and was ready to get married at 18, and then realized that what I was experiencing wasn't love. It was just my first positive experience with male affection. He didn't know that I felt like I was gonna have to settle on who I was gonna marry, because I was prophesied to. You're gonna be a first lady, you're gonna lie, all these other things that people in church tell you because you're a nice girl and because you don't look thotty. Because my name's not Thatina, Thatosha, Tatiana, Thataria. All these things that I experienced, not having a lot of self-worth, thinking that my shape wasn't beautiful, it was fat, and it was unattractive, and that I would have to put up with being cheated on and being told that I'm second best, but I'm good enough to talk to, or good enough to try to get at in an inappropriate sexual way. Like, he wasn't there for all of that stuff. So that's how I felt in the inner chamber of my heart. I didn't want to offend anyone. I knew I couldn't go that in depth about how I felt, and let me just put a pin there and let you guys know. You know I go by the moniker, you know, HonestAudrey. But the thing is, I've realized that honesty, before I even got on that kick, before I felt like the Lord even really gave that to me to live by, I realized that honesty is not an outlet to be disrespectful. It's not an outlet to say whatever you want to say whenever you want to say it. Honesty is about being approachable. It's about being upfront. It's about being accountable. And with that being said, I realized that even with me wanting to respond to my mother, going back to the main point about not wanting my dad to walk me down the aisle, I saved all that for you. I had to cultivate a way to let my mother know I didn't think it would be best for my dad to walk me down the aisle. I explained to her why I wouldn't feel comfortable with him walking me down the aisle, she said she respected my decision. She said, you know, I don't necessarily fully agree, but I respect your decision. First of all, I did not think my mom was gonna respond that way, but she did. I was very thankful for that. Let me turn this stupid little fan off because it's so loud. Hold on. So the next big thing was telling my dad. Of course, my father, when he found out I was getting married, he texted and was like, you know, congratulations. So proud of you. Can't wait to walk you down the aisle. Yikers. Because he initially, of course, immediately thought that he was going to walk me down the aisle. Whew. It did not work out well. Audrey Lamb was like, well, Pastor, I had to tell him, like, I had to tell him, you know, I don't think it would be best, you know, if he walked me down the aisle. I explained why, and he said that he understood. Now, of course, that didn't change, you know, the fact that I still was going to get blown out at my wedding rehearsal, child. So let me just tell you, at my wedding rehearsal, mind you, the Friday of the EP release, also the Friday of our wedding rehearsal, my dad flew in to Nashville. He lives in Pontiac, which is close to Detroit. I was pulled away by my mother, and she pulled our officiant, Uncle Pastor David, and basically told me that I was wrong and disrespectful for not allowing my father to walk me down the aisle when he came all the way from Detroit. Also told me that it was disrespectful that I didn't want to have the whole saga of who gives his bride away and have my mother and father say that they give me away. At the time, my response and my feeling to it, first of all, was that if it's my day, I should be able to decide how I want things to flow, what's said, what's done. This is after I already did not want a wedding. Man, first of all, let me just say, I just freaking love this Wet n Wild concealer. I forgot that it was actually like dope sauce. This is in medium D10. I just had to detour for a minute because it blesses my heart and not my purse. So I was put away, like I said, and I was told, like, you know, you're totally disrespectful for not letting your dad walk you down the aisle when he came all this way. You're disrespectful for not letting, you know, the officiant say who gives his bride away. You know, when we had you, we raised you, we X, Y, and Z. And I guess just by that time, I was just so worn out. I was just like, man, like, this wedding is about what makes people comfortable. It's not about me. It's about how you can basically get the glory for me making the right choice, me getting married, me, you know, whatever. And I wasn't having it, I guess. Well, thinking back on it now, I probably would have let, you know, I would have given up that battle and just let the officiant say who gives his bride away and all that other stuff. But at the time, I just felt so by myself. Everything that I was being asked to do was about how it'll make the family look, how it'll make you look, how it'll make my mother look, how it would make my father look. So at the time, I just decided, you know, I'm having this wedding because you guys wanted me to have a wedding. I was perfectly fine with doing a super small private ceremony or just going to the court and then having a very big reception, because I personally believe in investing in the marriage and not the wedding, or in the marriage over the wedding. And at the time, we were not balling. We still not balling. I was like, have a ceremony, and now you're telling me what has to happen at the ceremony that I didn't want to have. And I just was like, I can't keep giving up my power for a day that will have to be in, like, it's my memory. It's what I'll have to remember. And I just decided, like, I want my memories to look the way that I want them to look. And I can't have somebody that I don't know walking me down the aisle. And I can't say that someone who gave up on me or made decisions based off of what was most comfortable for them, to say that they're, you know, giving me away when they already gave me away to what they wanted at the time. If things were different, if it was to be redone, I may have made different decisions, but at the time, it's how I felt. So my camera died, but then, my God, I looked in the mirror and I saw that it was just too thick. Man, this is very thick kosher. Girl, I told you it was too thick. Anyway, I was also just talking about how it was just very difficult for me because it was hard, and I remember that there's so many factors that just had me like, I cannot take being bum rushed and talked down to and being condemned for decisions that I'm making to try to make the day that they imposed on me work. Bro, no, No, like, I get what you're saying, but I have to do what's best for me. I just think this is not working out for me. It's not working out. She was just not going well. There was just too much corrector. Like, I don't even feel that bad about my dark circles. Child, it's just too much. And like I said, I feel no kinds of ways showing you my mistakes. Like, it happens. All right, so take 2. So this is the final look. I used, what did I use? I used some Maybelline loose setting shine free powder, and that is in the color light. I use this to set under my eyes. I went in with my Pro Concealer, my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Fawn under my eyes, just to add a little bit of a golden hue under there. Then I set it down so that it didn't look too powdery with the Mario Badescu, which I already showed you guys. After which I put on some mascara. I used the Maybelline Colossal Spider Effect, which I'm pretty sure I've used on this channel before, and supposedly it's waterproof. I don't know, I'm too not cleanish. All right, and then I used my Wet n Wild Precious Petals. Nothing new, you guys. And then I set it all with my Urban Decay Chill Setting Spray. I just want to make sure that you guys are all aware of what was going on when I redid my look. I'm probably not going to edit out the stuff that happened before, because mistakes happen, and mistakes remind you that you're human and that you need a source to help you get to where you were trying to get to when you made the mistake anyway. So I'm not bothered. I'm not! Like I said, this is the final look. Stuff I was talking about, I meant it from my heart. I'm only sharing these intimate things because I know that it'll help someone else, not to blast or defame my family or anything else, not even to defame myself, my husband, anyone else. I'm simply sharing this stuff because people like you need to know that you're not the only person feeling adverse about anything, whether it be a situation with your family, your job, yourself, your relationship. I want you to know that somebody out there is experiencing the same things that you are, and that person is HonestAudrey. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. I love you a ton. If no one else told you, I think you're amazing and you're beautiful. Matter of fact, go look in the mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful, because you are. Have a beautiful day. Bye, guys.